Hey everyone, welcome back to Mega Man 6. This is on the Mega Man Anniversary Collection for the PlayStation 2. And we've taken care of, I can't count, 5? Yeah, there we go, 5 of our Robot Masters here. We're going to go on with Nightman today. Well, today. We're going to start with Nightman today. And Nightman is weak against the Yamada Man's power, which is why we're going after him after beating him. And free life, always nice. Especially since I am oh so good at this game. So this guy is kind of annoying. I think you have to shoot him twice or hit him with a charge shot at the after you shoot his urn to pop him out. Alternatively though, you can just use power. And I'm going to wait for this next cycle. I am switching over to Jet here because I am notoriously terrible at this. And I just used the Jet for a little bit of safety, so I didn't jump too high into that. And I'm ignoring that. I'm just going to damage boost through those because... it's safer in that regard, because I didn't want to waste time trying to kill them after I'd already gotten hit, so why not? Oh man. But yeah, I always tend to jump too high in that spot or too low and don't make the jump. So I just use the Jet as a buffer there, just for safety to get through. It's highly recommended actually if you're a total scrub like I am at these games. Oh, you know what? I just talked about how you can just use. Ooh, that was. You can just use a charge shot with a power adapter, and it actually kills them through their urn, which is very handy. Although if you get knocked off the platform, it's scary. Because if you are like me and have a controller that sometimes likes to drop inputs or just stop working for a few seconds at a time, you're dead. One of these days I will actually get a new controller. Oh my god! That was a charge shot, didn't kill him. So these guys are annoying because a single hit won't kill them. It'll knock their glasses off and make them angry. It doesn't matter what that hit is. It will just make them angry and faster. So, because that, like I said, that first shot was a charge shot, and all it did was make him run into me. Where the next time I just shot 2 little uncharged pellets, and it did the same thing. It killed him on the second shot. So they basically have 2 life bars. Is look at it that way. And so right here we have the alternate path, and I still need this. That's the very, very long alternate path we have here. Oh, another thing that power adapter can do, you can kill those things with a charge shot. Most of the armored things, most of the things that were actually armored and it seemed like you couldn't harm, you can actually hurt with a charged attack with the power adapter, so that's something to bear in mind. And so Nightman is actually very, very easy. It's one thing about Mega Man 6, I like it, it's very good, but it followed the same formula as most of the other games in the series. Is the first game was arguably the hardest, if not possibly the second one being a lot. I know I've heard the argument. I've heard people say that the first game was harder than the second, and a lot of people say the second is the hardest. But I personally find 1 and 2 both equally difficult, and 3 got a little easier. 4 was even easier. 5 was probably the pinnacle, I would say, actually, because it had some challenging parts in it, but it wasn't too difficult. 6, from the get-go, like, this is by far the easiest game in the series. It's the easiest one of the classic 6 on the NES. It is probably, compared to 7 and 8 even as well, it is probably the easiest. And I'm not saying 7 and 8 are easy, actually. I should rephrase how I'm saying that. Like, I would say this is probably the easiest of all the classic Mega Man games, is Mega Man 6. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I actually really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to play. But the charge shot in this seems to do exactly the same amount of damage to any Robot Master you're fighting as their weakness. So it's a nice balancing act, but it also comes down to like, if you don't have their weakness, or if you run out of their weakness because you screwed up and you have to fight the level a couple of times, sort of, or try the boss more than once, you have your Mega Buster to fall back on. So long as you can keep your charge and not get hit to actually deliver a charge shot to your opponent, essentially to the boss there, you're doing a lot of damage, and that is definitely a positive. But it does also make the game a little easier for when you're a little more experienced and are actually better at dodging the bosses and whatnot there. So it's definitely an easier of the sword, but it does take a little bit of skill to get to that point. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. It's a good difficulty curve, but it is definitely easier than like 4 or 5 was, sort of thing. And I'm being very careful here, and I'm specifically using my jet form here to for a little bit of safety, so I can cut my jump out and sort of maintain and gain a little bit of height, because your water physics do not affect your jets whatsoever. Or if anything, it actually reduces the maximum amount of height you can actually attain with jets. So it makes this this section a little safer. All right, he didn't drop anything useful. There are enemies up ahead. Why? Okay, I wasn't far enough. I thought I was far enough to spawn that enemy. Oh, okay. Well then, we're doing this. And again, I'm just using the jets for safety to get over those spikes. It's definitely not required, but it means less time, essentially. I'm gonna get this just because. I don't think I'll need it, but just because it's there. Hey, Eddie. Not helpful this time. When I was going back through Talmach Man's level to get to the alternate route, he gave me an energy tank. Random energy tank that I wasn't expecting. It's actually very nice. And these guys are annoying, but I'm just going to jet past. Jets really trivialize some of these parts there. So it's not a bad idea to go after Plant Man early. In fact, actually, if you don't mind fighting him without his weakness, it is a good idea to go after him, I would say, first. And I'm just going to damage boost through him. So the regular path would be down this ladder. I'm not doing that because I have rush jets, and this is probably going to be telling me that. Yeah, if you had the jet blast, you can get through here. Oh my god. Can I go up? Can I still go up? Yes, I can. Alright, thank God. I thought I screwed myself out of that. I don't know what happened there. I was holding... I never let go of jump. I was holding jump that whole time, and once again, my controller dropped an input, I guess. That's what happened. So that is a thing, people. It's not just in my head. And so he's... this guy, Centaur Man here, he's weak to the Night Crush, or Night Crash. I don't remember what it was called. But we are going to use it, and that's what Centaur Man does. He teleports, runs to one side of the screen, shoots that to the opposite wall, and teleports. That's all he does. Oh, never mind. He also does that, which makes sense. I hadn't seen him do that in a very long time. I forgot he had that capability. Because that's what you get from him as a power. You get his Centaur Flash. I am being I'm gonna die. Right on cue. He's very easy to dodge. I don't know what's going on. I'm playing terribly. I'm doing my usual thing, is I'm talking and I'm just being terrible because, hey, gameplay, me. Why? I don't think I've ever seen him just do that. I don't think I've ever seen him open with anything other than teleporting. That's usually how the fight goes. That is normally how the fight goes. Usually after he's teleported onto me at least once. Because let's face it, he always does that to me. I don't think I've ever fought him and have him not teleport. He didn't teleport once that fight, did he? So now we got all 4 beat parts. And that has actually given us a new power, which I honestly don't know how useful it is in this, but it's just like, or it's very similar to Megaman 5 when you got beat in that. You select it as a weapon power, and because, once again, because of the Anniversary Collection here, I can actually just hit L2 to swap to it if I don't have a weapon already equipped. Just a quick way to get to it. And it just summons Beat in, and he flies around and attacks enemies. Every time he attacks enemies, it uses up his weapon power. And I don't exactly know how overall powerful it is and if it's really effective against some bosses, because I honestly don't use it in this game. But that's beat. He's a thing, but he is not going to be used. At least I'm not going to use him. Oh, why is difficult? I will just stop and say only that. Why is difficult? Oh boy, I missed. He's back. Gotta love respawning enemies. Oh boy, I was not expecting that. Alright, screw this, screw this. Go away. And so those fans will blow you up. Sometimes it's faster than others, or sometimes it seems faster than others, so it can be a little dangerous because of the spikes above you. But that's why I switched over to Jet, just for a little bit of safety. And we're going to see more of those platforms that swap around here and there in a later level. And we'll probably see them later in this level as well. But as you saw, it's just a very, very quick and simple. You jump on one spot, and about a second later it flips around to the other side. So it's pretty easy to deal with. It's not overly dangerous. Oh no, 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 do not want. Those guys, there's always a version of those guys in these classic games, and they all hit like trucks, every single one of them. So it's always good to be able to kill them quickly, or just avoid them entirely. Well then, that just happened. Oh my god, I'm not even sure what just happened there. That wasn't even my game, more a controller dropping an input. That was just terrible on my part. I don't know why I did that. I really don't know why I did that, but shout out to the extra life that was there last time I came through here, which proved helpful, I guess. And I'm falling too fast. There we go. So momentum is a big thing in this. Your jets can slow your descent, but if you don't have time for them to really kick in, because you see I was using my jets that entire time there, and I still went from the top of the screen straight down to the floor. So yeah, it is definitely... I think my jets actually canceled out those pushing. Oh no! No! Alright, we're good. He usually doesn't hit me there. I'm kind of surprised. Alright, so we have Centaur Flash here for Windman. And Windman is stupidly easy even without his weakness, but he's trivialized with his weakness. Because you're about to see how Centaur Flash... or Crash Flash, or Centaur, or whatever this is called. You'll actually see how this works in a second here. It's so broken. That's it. It hits everything on the screen. And so long as he's not invulnerable, you can just hit him. And the amount of energy he uses is the amount of damage it deals to him. So you can kill him with a full bar, and that's that. The one move you didn't see him do is throw his two spinning blades out, which is incredibly easy to dodge. You just stand at mid-range and you can jump over them, or if you can time a slide, you can slide underneath the two of them as they crisscross, and it's pretty cool actually. But that is the last 3 Robot Masters, so that is actually going to bring us to a close for today. But one last thing. There we go. So moving on, next time we'll be starting the Mr. X levels. As again, we could go back and fight the alternate path, or the regular path in Yamato Man's Nightman and Centaur Man, but there's no reason in doing that. We already have everything we need from it. We're not going to get anything new from beating them again. And so that is all there is. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you'll come back next time to see, well, to take down Mr. X. Huh. Flashes of Resident Evil 2. You can tell that was also a Capcom game, huh? Until next time, everyone. Take care, you hear.